13th birthday. Praise the Lord. Yes, and happy birthday to you, Nana. Yes, catch it, cake, catch it. Praise the Lord. God bless you. It's wonderful. Amen. He just entered into teenage. Praise the Lord. Let's say happy birthday. Mother, what is that? Lord, we pray in the name of Jesus. Parents, pray for them. Pray for sister. Father God, we thank you for blessing your son. He's also using playing instrument in the church. And bless his life, Lord. The children be blessed. Ratnagar Gandhi, Chandra Gandhi, his daughter and son be blessed for the glory of God. As he enters the new year, the crown of grace. Thank you, Lord, for giving wonderful blessings. May have long life. May bring glory to God. The instrument in the hand of God. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. May the Lord give you success in your education, both of your daughters and son. God bless you. Happy birthday once again. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Prabhu Patagaj Shankararo, Pradikshina, yes, so oil from the Mr. Father, I pray for them. Thank you for your blessings. It's more than 26,000. Bible, Radha Purya, Avanadi, and Vishal Patna, Sai Chipati, it's now not Mr. Amen. Nanda, our speed goes to the same drive chain. Speed drive కాదు ఏ డ్రైవ్ సేమ్ డ్రైవ్ సేమ్ గా డ్రైవ్ చేయడానికి కనబడు కన్ఫెషన్ వెరీ గుడ్ ప్రైజ్ ది లార్డ్ మరి మీకు వివాహం అయిన చేస్తున్నాం అజయ్ కుమార్ గారు
Good morning, students. Good morning. Karthik, good morning. Diaz, good morning. Good morning. Sheikh, good morning. Palli Karthik, very good morning. Amol, good morning. Good morning. Perin Kumar. Triratna, very good morning. Ankur, good morning. Venkanna, very good morning. Thank you. Good morning. Have a nice day. Same to you. Very good morning to everybody. Yes, good morning. Anusha, good morning. Venkanna, good morning. Bali, good morning. Srikonda, good morning. Sharath, good morning. Good morning. Nitish, very good morning to everybody. Thank you very much. I wish you all the same. Right. Have a nice day today. Right. Yeah. Right. Students, like, I think I have to start my this syllabus. Yeah. Two students raise their hands. Definitely, I'll come back to you. If I go on with you all, this takes a lot of time. Let me go on with my teaching now. I'll come back to you, students. Like, Right. Lower your hands, please. Lower your hands. I'll give you some time to talk to me. So, right. Very good morning. Good. Right. All right. We'll move on to the. So the chapter name for today is the noun number, as I told you, students. Right? Yeah. Thank you. Lower your hands, please. Lower your hands. I'll come back to you. Don't worry. Now, right. Because I told you, syllabus is little bit, we have to move a little bit faster. Otherwise, there is a framed schedule, and I think I have to do justice in that time itself. Otherwise, they will cut short of my classes. Right? Arukonda, Pranavi, lower your hand. I'll come back to you, please. When I ask you to raise your hands, you can do that. Thank you. Right? So the chapter name is the noun, the number, singulars, verb, and subject verb agreement. As I said, students, like there are a lot of questions that have been raised from this chapter, and the chapter is very important, and you need to pay a lot of attention now. Right? Very good. So what is the subject? Still we are into subject. We have not yet come to the verb chapter yet. So we are still trying to discover what is noun and what is the subject exactly like, right? So as I said, students, like singular and plural, like, right? So we have to know today something, what we call it as like singular and plural. Okay, something like singular nouns and plural nouns we should check. Generally in English, if you add s to a word, that becomes a plural. So straight away, I'll just go on with the students. Supposing you take the word boy, you just add s, it becomes a plural. So therefore, that is a general rule in English, students, like now, right? So there are a lot of nouns in English. You just add s and they become plural. Okay, right? Very good now. There are some nouns in English which end in sch, ch, x. They take es. For example, bench. ch. So therefore, then we should say benches. Are you able to understand, students? Now, there are some nouns in English, they end in sh, ch, and you need to just add es to them. So therefore, they become plural. Is it okay? Right. Like box. Ending in s, so therefore it becomes boxes. Right? Very good. Now, however, there are some nouns in English, they end in y. Try to please be reminded, please. The subject verb agreement is confusing just because you don't know what is singular and what is plural. If the subject, if you don't know singular, then how can you are going to concord with the verb now? Right, I'm also coming back to the verb also. How do you define verb as singular and plural? There are only two parts of speech in English which has the concept of singular and plural. Sorry, three. Noun and pronoun, they have the concept of singular and plural concept. And another one is the verb, which has a singular and a plural concept. Na adjective have plural, na adverbs, na prepositions, na conjunctions. They don't have singular and plural concept. So how many parts of speech have the concept of singular and plural concept, should I say? There are only three parts of speech. One is noun, the other one is pronoun, plus then we have verb, that is exactly, we call it as subject verb concept. We call it as like, all right. So there are a lot of nouns in English which end in y, but preceded by a consonant. Then what happens? That y changes into I plus es. For example, baby. It is ending in y, but preceded by a consonant. What happens? Like y will change into I plus es. Very easy, students. Like therefore, it becomes babies. Are you able to understand, students, now? So therefore, a lot of nouns in English, they end in what we call it as like so teddies. So ending in y but preceded by consonant. So y changes into I plus es. Y changes into I plus es. So babies. However, there are some nouns in English again. They end in y but preceded by vowel. What happens? They just take s. Y remains as it is. For example, I use the word toy, T-O-Y, toy. Now, toys. That's all. So, ending in Y, but preceded by what? Vowel. And here it is consonant. So, there is a difference there. And here you need to add just yes, toys. There are some nouns in English, students, like they end in F. They end in F. And F will change into V plus, right, what we call it as like, right? So that will change into V and plus we need to add ES. For example, thief, T-H-I-E-F, thief. Now Y will change into what now? V and ES. For example, let us just see the word like thieves, T-H-I-E-V-E-S. Now you see F will change into now what? F will change into V and plus ES. Thief, thieves. There are some nouns in English, that's why it's confusing. Sometimes we should understand. They end in F. F will remain same. You need to add what we call it as just S, students. Like for example, roof. Roofs. So don't change every F, please. Chief, chiefs. Mischief, mischiefs. FS will remain. However, there are some nouns in English that take both. For example, dwarf, D-W-A-R-F. D-W-A-R-V-E-S, dwarfs, D-W-A-R-F-S, dwarfs, short in stature. So there are some nouns like that. So they remain both same spelling, right? Some examiners, they test spellings also. One of the years they have tested, even our exam also GATE, I think they have tested spellings. All confusion with what we call it as this admission, ADMIS, yes, sometimes yes. I have that list also, I'll try to give you students like, so they are asking sometimes they give the wrong spelling 7 year. How many of you know the meaning of 7 year like? So they're asking the spellings like, right? Wonderful like. There are some nouns in English, students, like they end in O. O plus ES. For example, mango. So the plural is mangoes. ES, sorry. So there are some nouns in English, they end in O, but you need to add ES. However, there are some nouns in English, they end in O, but they take only S. Like for example, we can use the word photo. Photo, check please. Photos, P-H-O-T-O-S. Don't say ES, please. Photos. Chief, sorry, for example, like ratio. Ratios, only S. Dynamo, dynamos. You need to be careful about spellings. So there are some nouns which end in O, but they take ES, but there are some nouns in English, they end in O, but they take only S. That is how we have to understand. However, there are some nouns which are irregular in forming plural. For example, take the word man will become now men. Some internal changes take place. Child will become children. Ox will become now OXEN. Certain internal changes also have to taken into consideration, students, like, right? There are some nouns in English which remain same, singular and plural. For example, deer, deer, deer. Fish, fish. However, there is a word fishes also, but when we talk about different variety, even if you take sheep, sheep. I'll give you the list also. It is there in the book, students. Like I'll just, this is I'm explaining here. This explanation is not there in the book, but words are there. I'll try to talk to you about the words and page numbers also. I'll refer the page numbers, right? Okay, right. So fish, fish, and fishes. If it is different variety like eels, then again salmon, then beaches, right? Yes. Someone has raised the hands. Please lower your hands. I'll come back. The list is there in front of us. Come on, let us see now. So fish, sometimes that is what we have to understand, students. Like, however, there are some nouns in English, students. Like now, there are some compound nouns. Like supposing, like for example, like brother-in-law. Now, what should be the plural of the word like? The main word will take the plural form, please. The main word. So therefore, we should say brothers-in-law. Compound nouns. Brothers-in-law. But we can also say in-laws house. In-laws house. Something belonging to, okay, brothers-in-law we say. Right? So when we talk about some compound nouns that also have to be taken into account, students, like there are some nouns in English, students. They have two plurals sometimes. For example, like light. So there are what we call it as like, so there are two meanings of these ones. One sometimes light. For example, singular, light singular means radiance. And another meaning of radiance, and one more meaning is sometimes lamp. It's a lamp. So singular has one meaning, singular has two meanings. And the plural lights, sometimes, so supposing you say lights. So what is the light plural is L-I-G-H-T-S, lights. And it has only, plural only has one meaning, which means lamps. Now lights does not have the meaning of radiance there. Light means radiance. It has two meanings. Sometimes singular has two meanings and plural has one meaning, students. Sometimes there are some nouns in English, singular has one meaning and plural has other meaning also. Sometimes force. Force means strength. Then there's a word in English, forces. Then what do you mean by forces? Forces means army. So there are some nouns in English, singular has one meaning and plural has other meanings that also you need to keep in mind. For example, let me just see another word also, air. Air means oxygen or atmosphere. Let me call it as atmosphere. Then what about airs? There is a word what we call it as like, then we have to use the word pride. We have to use the word as pride, students, like airs. Are you able to understand now, right? That's a meaning that's again you have to understand now. There are n number of words in English, students, like they end in sometimes like um. Just I'm trying to say now um, us. Generally, they are singular actually. Us, they are singular only, singular. And plural is sometimes they end in plural, they end in IA or A. These are all sometimes you need to understand. Supposing I use the word sometimes like bacterium. Already Gate has tested this word, bacterium. And the singular is bacteria. You see here bacteria. So bacterium, bacteria. That's what you have to understand sometimes. Like supposing I use the word hypothesis. This is also Gate question, students. Like hypothesis will become now hypothesis. What is the difference here now? So it is ending in is is a singular and therefore plural is es. Synthesis, synthesis. Right? Gate has tested such simple variations when you don't know. And a minute, two students have called me and told me, sorry, it is ending in yes, therefore it should be plural. Very good. But there is also here also yes now, right? So is is singular and right, analysis, analysis. So why don't you know all these ones like, right? There are some nouns in English, students, like I'll come back to I'll refer the page numbers. Sometimes, for example, there is a word what we call it as like, for example, wage, W-A-G-E. Right, students, like wage and wages. So when we talk about sometimes like different meanings, the wages of a sin or the wage of sin is death. So sometimes people use such kind of words like now, the wages of sin is death or the wage of sin is death. So, so sometimes you have to understand like the wage of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. So I'll just give you sometimes like, so singular has one meaning as punishment And at the same time, daily workers' wages. What do you mean by this one? I'll refer the page number, students, like you will understand. I'm coming back, like wages, like means. Now means has sometimes, so like, salary at the same time means also means due to this, right? Because of this, it has two meanings. I'll come back again. And there are n number of words in English, students, you need to understand as I go with the book. I'll refer the page numbers, and I also try to talk to you about this singular and plural concept. Once you understand the singular and plural concept, then we can just jump to the what? We can jump to the subject and verb agreement, students. Okay, right. So those students who have the book, you can take the book page number and just refer to that. And yeah, so this is the theory book, students. Immediately take the book. I'll refer some pages. So I cannot just go and write everything here now. Those students who have this book, please just keep in mind, or else I'll give the page numbers, and later on also you can just go through them, work out, study them, and just to see them. Okay, I'll just give you the page numbers here. Right, students, page number, you can write down there, page number 182 for your kind info reference. Page number if I write here, you'll be right. I think it's page number 182 onwards. We can just write down, students, like 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, yeah, up to 187. So 182 to 187. Okay. So you can just go through them, and whatever I have taught, it is given there, students, like please work out with that. Please work out with that. And you see, lot of words, differences I've just mentioned in the book. You can please go through them and start working them, students. Okay, right. Yeah, so just you need to work out with these words. Otherwise, you cannot. Supposing, like I say, erratum, page number 185. Those students who have the books, you can open the place. Otherwise, it's okay. Erratum, errata, index, indices, radius, radii, formula, formulae, memorandum, memoranda, 185 page number base. Terminus, termini, IS question. Many people didn't know the word terminus, termini. That is how the words have been used, students. Okay, right, here we go, right. I cannot go on with this, all these one, students. Like, for example, like I just told you, means is used either as singular or plural, but when it has the meaning of wealth, it is always plural. Wealth point of view, for example, like his means are small. Please read the book, it is there. That's what I'm not writing here now. Means his income is small. When I'm talking about income, it is plural. Income. Sorry, income, it is plural. When we talk about income, it is plural. And when you talk about something like cause and effect relationship, it is singular. That is how we need to understand the word. That's what I said. Words have been given here, students. Please go through them. There are a lot of words in English, students, like they end in S, but they are not plural, but they are singular. For example, like mathematics. Right? Yeah. Mathematics ending in S is a branch of science. However, there are differences, students. However, there are differences, like, but if you consider mathematics as calculations, then it is plural. I'll come back to that. As I move on to that, I'll let you know. That's what. So first of all, as you have to master these one, students, little bit of mastery is necessary. Otherwise, they try to, most often what happens, like they try to raise the same questions again and again. Okay. So that is how we have to understand. Like, for example, that's what, right? Supposing, like, I'll just tell you, For example, if you take the word like people, it's there in the book. Just people is plural itself, and there is a word peoples also. People, peoples. But how do you understand these words like people, peoples? Like people means a nation, only one nation. But peoples means nations. Supposing in my class there are students from different nations. Maybe few students are from America, Britain, Japan, China. Then I have to address you as my dear peoples. I have to address you because you are all from different nations. But if you are only from India, then I should say people. Or you are only Americans, then I have to say people. So meanings vary, students, sometimes. There are a lot of intricate nouns. That's what you have to understand. So if you open the book 184, you will understand there are a lot of words like that. For example, students, like page number 184. I just want to give you some idea about this one. Okay. So there are some nouns in English. I'll come back to that one also again. Maybe you will find in numbers. So names of instruments which have two parts forming a kind of a pair. What is that? Again, I'll come back to that. There is another page also, students. I'll try to refer to you so that you will understand easily. You can go to page number again. Yeah, you can go to page number 175, please. Page number 175, please. Go to 175, 176, please. 175 and 176. Okay, I'll just read it for your convenience sake so that you will understand better. Again and again, I am reiterating these words, students. Like, come on, let us see now. The page number 175, those students who have the book, just to open it. Number 42, please. Number 42. Some nouns always take a singular verb. They don't become plural. Then which are the ones? Competitive point of view, you should know. It is there in the book, so I am not writing. So let me not waste my time, students. Scenery. There is no word called sceneries in English. Advice, information, machinery, stationery, furniture, abuse, fuel, rice, gram, issue, bedding, repair, news, mischief, poetry. There is no word called poetries. Business. There is no word called business. There is no word. Economics, ending in yes. Physics, mathematics, classics, ethics, athletics. Innings. The word has been frequently raised. Innings is singular, right? Yeah, gallows. Gallows. Gallows means fancy. That's where you have been, right? This capital punishment, right? Wonderful, students, right? And I have given the review. Go through my book. It's wonderful, students. Like, I have prepared which is right and which is wrong. And I just given few words like the scenery of Hyderabad are enchanting. Just to explain you that again, orally, I'm trying to tell you, students, like the scenery of Hyderabad are enchanting. Now, scenery is a singular. How can you use the word plural are there? So therefore, you need to correct it as the scenery of Hyderabad is. Scenery is enchanting, you should say. That's what I said. If you don't know these nouns, then subject-verb agreement is going to be really tough. So first of all, you have to master these ones. Okay, that's one. The Indian team defeated. Okay, one more example. He has given advices. No, he has given advice. Don't say advices, please. The Indian team defeated the Australians by innings. No, you should say the Indian team defeated the Australians by an innings because it is singular. By innings, don't say by an innings, you should say. Right? Yes. Yesterday, some student asked me with regard to article. By a bus or by bus? There's no article there, please. Sometimes. He went by bus. By a bus, don't say. Right? We can say on a bus. When I come to the prepositions, I'll let you know, please. You can say on a bus. Sir, on a bus or in the bus? Then you have a lot of doubts. When I come to prepositions, I'll let you know about that. Just wait. Don't say by a bus, please. By bus. Even by car. Right, very good, students. Right, let us see. So please go through that. The Indian team defeated the Australians by an innings, you should say. By an innings. There's one example here. I just would like to go with this example also, students, so that for your right. Suppose there is one example here, like mathematics are a difficult subject, for example. Mathematics are a difficult subject. Mathematics are a difficult subject. No, definitely you will tell me, sir, this sentence is wrong. You should say mathematics, correction has to be made here now. Mathematics is a difficult subject now. Why? Some student told me, sir, there is a S here, so that I want to go with the plural. No. However, exceptions are there in English students like that is what now the main problem with us is exceptions. Like supposing I say his mathematics. His mathematics is, yeah, his mathematics are very good. Or is mathematics, supposing I say what we call it as like now, right? Supposing I say maybe his mathematics is good, yeah, his mathematics are good now. Definitely you will tell me, sir, since you have used the word is here, here also it will be is. No. Here it is, are is right. Are is right, not is here. That's what exceptions are there always. Here, mathematics is a branch of science. What is that? Branch of science. Monica, please lower your hand, I'll come back. His mathematics means like what we call it as, the meaning here it is his calculations. Calculations. Right, is calculations. So his mathematics is calculations, what we call it as like. What is the spelling of calculations? Student, someone tell me the spelling of calculations. Raise your hand, please. Immediately. Try to find out the spelling. Anil, what is the calculation spelling today?
Yeah, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anil. What is the spelling of calculation?
CALCUCATION.
CALCU,
Calculation. LATION.
right now?
Yes, sir.
Right, please. Right. Thank you. If you are
Thank
right, then it's okay then. Right. Right, Vede. Very good. Thank you. Jayalakshmi.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jayalakshmi.
Yes.
What is the spelling of calculations?
CALCULA.
Is it not CALU? Is it not CALU?
No, sir.
Sure?
Sure, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Right. Very good. That's what I said now. You also master spellings also because examines are testing the spelling. Others, I'll come back, please. But here, his calculations are good. That is the answer here now. And one more thing I should say here now. That's a slight change here now. You see, capital M. Capital M is capital M. Caps. Caps is always singular. Small letter. Small is always plural. Okay, capital letter is singular and small letter is plural. So students, I just want you to master these techniques like I've been referring you some books. You please go through that. Okay, come to 176, please, for page number 176. Some nouns are singular in form. 43, 176, 43. Some nouns are singular in form, but they are used as plural nouns and always take a plural verb. In appearance, they are singular, but actually they are plural. So he has given one word. The cattle is grazing in the field. Cattle, or we should say now. Don't say cattles. There is no word cattles now. The cattle are grazing in the ground. The clergy, words like cattle, gentry. Gentry means people. Vermin means disease. Peasantry means peasants. Artillery, people, clergy, church members. Company, police have come, we should say. Don't say police has come because police is plural. If you don't know which is singular and plural, you will make a mistake, which means you should buy By default, we have to go through the book, students. Like, please go through that. Right now. So 176, come to number 44, please. Some nouns are always used in a plural form and always take a plural verb. Very good. They are not singulars. Like, what are the words like? Trousers. Don't say trouser. Give me a trouser, please. Trouser means there are two parts in that. Now, if you ask me give a trouser, he has to tear one part and then get you one part. You always have to say trousers, scissors, spectacles, stockings, long this one, shorts, measles, kinds of diseases, right? The word measles also can be used as singulars. Measles is an infectious disease. Is, but if the disease has been spread many nook and corner, we have to say measles are. The kind of skin disease. Goods, arms, premises, thanks. Tidings, tidings means news. Annals, charters, historical documents, historical papers, annals of the history have been. So therefore, if you don't know, you will go through this. So there always remain plural. There's no word called annal. Annals we have to say. Right, annals. ANNALS now. Where is my trousers? So the sentence would be wrong. We have to say, where are my trousers? We should say. Are you able to understand, students, now? Supposing I make one sentence, for example, like let us see. Scissors are kept on the table. The sentence is absolutely right. Scissors are kept on the table. Don't say scissors is, we cannot say, students, like now, right? There was one question, students, like somewhere, the question was like this. It is, yeah, it is a Caesar, yeah, Caesars. So they asked you to correct the sentence. Like it is a Caesar movement or it is a Caesar's movement, right? Yeah, Caesar's movement or it is a Caesar's. Yugashri has raised the hand. Definitely, I'll come back to you. Okay, let me check with you. Yugashri.
The Caesars are kept on the table, sir.
Caesars are kept on the table. Absolutely right. That's what I said now. The sentence is absolutely right. It cannot be is, please, because Caesars are plural, so R is plural now. What about next sentence? It is a Caesar movement or it is a Caesar's movement?
Caesars.
Because
Sir.
there is no word in English like a Caesar, like very good, right? But sounds like you are taking gate papers, you need to be little careful. Here it is wrong. Here it is wrong. It is a Caesar movement, which means the meaning of Caesar, it is a sharp movement. That is what we have to understand here. And what is that? Movement is noun. So therefore, Caesar is adjective here. Work out, please. Examiners test such kind of questions, right? So don't get confused. Sir has told there is a word only Caesars, but there is no word Caesar now. No. So it is a Caesar movement. That's what. So examiners sometimes confusing us students, like lot of confusions, like, right? Okay, but anyway, just try to understand this. This concept of a singular and plural is very important. That's the main focus is we have to understand the concept of singular and plurals. And when we don't understand, then we lost the game, right? That's all. That's one thing. Page number, if you can come back to 176, it is wonderful, students. Like you can go through them and work out, right? Very good now, right? I go with the next one now. So intricate all this one, like 176, page number 45. There are some nouns that indicate what? There are some nouns which show length, measurement, money, weight, or number. There are some nouns in English like that. When they are preceded by a numeral number, they remain unchanged in form. They remain as they are. Which are the words? Let us see. For example, foot, meter, pair, score, dozen. Very important word. Already tested in head, ear, 100, 1000, million. It is a 3 years degree course. The sentence now. It is a 3 years degree course. Just now I told you now. That's what I said. You need to be very careful about that. The word year is preceded by the number, numeral. It remains unchanged, which means you cannot use the word yes there. It is a 3-year degree course, we should say. Don't say it is a 3 years degree course. Right, students now? So don't use the word years like. You can use years like, no problem. You can use the word years like, but when it is preceded by number, restrict please. For example, he gave me 200 rupees or he gave me 200. The word 100 will remain same because it is preceded by what? Numeral. It is preceded by numeral. Be careful. So never use the word like. So it is a 3 years degree course. Don't say it is a 3-year degree course. What we call it as we have to say, students now. Now be careful again now. I have done 10 years of work. Right? Off, there is what you call 10 years of work. That is okay. No problem at all. Like 10 years of research, we can say. Off, there is a word off coming there. That is not a problem. That is not a problem. But when you are using an article here now, it should be singular and it should also be singular. How can it will be plural then? It is a years? No, you cannot say that. So singular and singular has to be taken into account, students. Okay, right. And just let me just say one more word. I just want to give you students now. I bought 2 dozens mangoes. The sentence is absolutely wrong, students. Like, be careful about that. No. Just now I told you now the word dozens. Because there is a numeral there. I bought 2 dozen mangoes, we should say. We can say like this. I bought dozens of mangoes, we can say. Students like, right? Very good now. He gave, supposing I take one more now. Let me just see now. I bought dozens of mangoes. The sentence is absolutely right. That is right. Absolutely right. A pair of scissors. A pair of scissors easier are kept on the table. A pair of scissors easier are kept on the table now. Just now I told you scissors is always plural. All right. But here it is. It cannot be are. Why? The sentence has to go like this. A pair is kept on the table. And what was the previous sentence? Scissors are kept on the table now. R is okay. 2 pair of jeans. Some Nana asked me, sir, should I use the word yes also? No problem. Both are accepted. 2 pair of jeans. 2 pairs of jeans. No problem. British English takes even the word pair only. Even if you are using the word yes also, there is no problem there. 3 pairs of jeans. 2 pairs. Or 2 pair of jeans also is no problem. So S, pair or pairs, not at all a problem now. So therefore you see now a pair of scissors is kept on the table, we have to say. But if you are saying 2 pairs, or we have to say then 2 pairs of scissors are 2 pair of scissors. Both are accepted. Bora, I'll come back afterwards, please. Right now. So take care of these ones like. And sometimes when you talk about your age, a lot of students make mistakes like. Age. I am 21 years. You are 21 years. You will never be 21 years in your life. When you talk about the age, you should say, I am 20. That's all. Yeah, I am 21. I'm 20 years. And just don't keep quiet there now. The sentence is wrong, please. You have to say, just I'm 20. I'm 21. We have can say now. That's all. That's the sentence is absolutely right. That is right. Are you able to understand us now? Right side. And you can also say like this, you can say, I am 20 years old, we have to say. What is old? Old means not Buddha and Buddhi. Old means age actually now. That's what we call how old are you? That's what we say, how old are you? Which means what is your age? That's the meaning there. I am 20 years old, we can say. I can say my daughter is 5. My son is 12. My son is 12 years old also, we can say, no problem. But you have to activate the word old. If you don't activate the word, then it will be wrong, students. Are you able to understand now? Right. So little bit careful about when you are talking about the age groups, like Anisha, just wait. I'll come back afterwards, please. I'll come back afterwards. Right. Allow me to go through, please. Allow me to go through now. Right. Supposing I make one sentence, like for example, maybe if I have to go with one sentence, like supposing I take one sentence, like for example, he was retired at 50. Or he was retired at the age of 50. Sorry, 60, no? Age is retired. At 60. He was retired age of 60. So look at these two sentences now. He was retired at 60. He was retired at the age of 60 now. There's one sentence, students, like it doesn't spring to my mind. I just need to find out that sentence now. I'll come back to that one now. Just leave this sentence to me. I'll come back. I'm just putting a question mark. I'll come back. Just wait. There is something missing here. Just wait. I'll come back to that one. This one. Okay. Just wait. Now, I'll come to what we call it as a page number 176, students. Like I'll just come back to that. I'll just give it to you. 46, number 46. Now you see that. Collective nouns such as jury, public, team, committee. I have already talked about collective nouns like government, audience, orchestra, company are used both as singular and plural. Last time I told you, depending on the meaning. Like when these words indicate a unit as a whole, I told you it is singular. The verb is singular. Otherwise, the verb will be plural now. So please go through 176 page. 176 page, students now, right? Just wait this question. I'll come back to that. Let me just look into that one and I'll come back to that. It's okay. Right now. All right. Now, students, like having understood the concept of singular and plural, so there are a lot of words that you need to know what is singular, what is plural. And if you don't know this concept, then you're bound to make mistakes. Now, is it okay? Right. Now we'll go on with the what is subject verb agreement also. I'll just want to continue, students, like now. Right. Let us see now. Now, when you talk about the subject verb agreement, so having seen all these concepts of subject and verb concepts, students, like for example, let us see. If it is a noun, let us try to understand very carefully, students, like noun, right? Now I have used the word boy, and by taking the word, what we call it as boys. So now you have understood, sir, this is singular and this is plural. So you have understood the concept now, boy, boys, right? Now this is singular concept. So by taking yes, they become more plural. But what about verb, students? Like now, come on, let us see the verb concept. Like what is the verb concept here? Now, come on, let us see. So verb has something like V1, V2, and play. Supposing I take the word play. And the past tense is played, and what we call it as a played. Just I'm trying to give you a kind of an idea what is singular and plural now, right? So as they are now, for example, students, like now, the word play as it is plural. It is plural. It is plural. And the word played is a singular, at the same time it is plural also. I played, we played, you played. So it is singular and plural. Are you able to understand? But the word as it is like plural. Supposing I take the word work, maybe let me just use the word like, okay, work, W-O-R-K, work. Worked, worked, work and worked. Now try to understand this concept, please. But the same verb, students, like if you are going to add S, then this becomes singular. That the confusion here it is now. Students are raising hands, I'll come back to you. Noun takes yes to become plural. Noun takes yes to become plural. Verb takes yes to become a singular. That is what you have to understand. So don't get confused with that now. So what should be the idea here now? Now if I say boys play, boys play, boy plays, because singular has to match, plural has to match. Are you able to understand now? By taking yes, it becomes now he plays. Now he play you don't say, but we say we play, we say. But he plays, Rama plays. Try to understand. Are you able to understand, students, now? So by taking yes to noun, it becomes plural. By taking yes, verb becomes a singular. If you have understood this concept, then I just want to move further, students, like so that you will not have any problem with that. So first of all, identify the verb or nouns, whether they are singular or whether they are plurals now. So, but past tenses can be same, like singular and plural, they are alike. There's no problem. But only verb is, as it is plural. But if it takes yes, it becomes like a singular. Sita sing or Sita sings. Sita sings, because Sita is singular. So therefore you have to say Sita sings. We have to say, students, like now. Very good now, right? So with this, the concept of a singular plural concept is over, students, like, right? Very good. Now I'll move on to the next one now. Now we'll move on to the next bit, students. Now we'll go with this just subject verb agreement concepts like. Anusha, any doubt? Damant?
Hello, sir.
Hi, good morning, Damant. Come on, tell me.
Sir, the scissors are kept on the table, right, sir?
Scissors are kept on the table. Definitely right.
Then, even if it is single, I mean, one scissor, or I mean, there are more numbers also, same sentence will be correct.
It is two pair. It's only one scissor there, but it has two parts. Right?
Okay, sir. But if there are 5 scissors, I mean, there are 5 quantity of it.
Then we should say 5 pairs of scissors.
Okay, but we cannot.
You have to say 5 pairs of scissors are kept on the table. We have to say that.
Okay, sir. One more doubt I have.
Yeah.
Sir, anger means kopam, kada, sir.
Hmm.
But alagatam in English, I mean, what we say that thing? Alaka we say, right, sir? Alagatam, I mean.
The word they use is shy only, actually.
Okay.
Shy they use. Let me also see whether the exact word, like I'll just tell that word. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Then normally people say shy, right?
Okay, sir.
Shy, and there is one more word, students, like I'll just tell you. Not springing to my mind now. Sometimes shy, and your name is Damant. There's one more word, man. I'll give afterwards. I'm unable to, it doesn't spring to my mind. Damath, ask me again afterwards, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right, and I just, right. Beta. Rupesh, what is your doubt, beta? Rupesh.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Rupesh. Come on, tell me, beta.
Sir, one question, sir. A pair of scissors, that one I not understood, sir.
See, just if you say scissors, if you activate, it is plural. Always you have to use plural because it has two parts.
Yes, sir.
The scissors are kept on the table. Over.
Yes, sir.
But if you are using the word pair, a pair of scissors is only we have to say because it's only one there. Because the word goes not with the word scissors now. A pair, it has to go with the word pair. Pair is singular.
Yes, sir. Singular.
Pairs is plural. If you want to take it as, you can take it as, no problem. So if there are two pairs, now you tell me how many scissors you have now. Two pairs of scissors are kept on the table. How many scissors are there now?
Two scissors.
There are two scissors, which means one scissor has two parts.
Yes,
So
sir.
nouns having two parts or instruments sometimes two parts, they are always plural. But sometimes what happens, like if you prefix a tag called pair, I just want to give one more word also because, well, the pair is sitting in the garden or the pair are sitting in the garden now. Tell me now. Or
The
a pair is sitting in the garden or a pair are sitting in the garden. Come on, tell me here now.
Sir, a pair is, sir.
Is now, right?
Yes, sir.
Now here the sentence is wrong now. You know why? You have to understand the meaning of the sentence. I told you sitting, I said now. Sitting means like how many people are there? A pair is sitting in the garden means like only
Two,
one
sir.
person or two persons?
Two persons, sir.
There are two persons now. Now here you have to say a pair are sitting in the garden, you have to say.
Oh.
You understand? Because the sense of the sentence have to be understood carefully. I don't say a pair is sitting there now. Now there are two people there. You have to understand that there are two people, so a pair are sitting in the garden, you have to say.
Yes, sir.
But if I say a pair of scissors, now what will you say now? Is a R?
R, sir.
No, here it should be is, because here it is a pair. I am talking about a pair is, because it is only one.
Sir, but sir, one sentence 45, sir. In our books are written, there are some nouns that indicate length, that is when they are preceded by numeral. So actually pair also, there is a pair, na, sir, numeral.
That's what I mean. A pair is there now. Definitely like that's what. No. But British, Americans, English, they talk about the word pair. No doubt about that. That's what I'm trying to say. Even if you write pair and pairs, it is accepted actually.
Okay, sir.
Both accepted. Like two pair of scissors kept on the table, absolutely right. Even if you say two pairs of scissors kept on the table, also is right, absolutely right. Oxford tells use both, no problem, no harm with that.
Okay, sir.
But a pair is sitting, no, a pair are sitting, you should say. But a pair of scissors is, you should say. A pair is, we cannot say a pair are sitting in the garden, we have to say. There's a difference there.
Okay, sir. It depends on things.
Right. Because here it's one scissor is one, but it has two parts.
Yes,
Or
sir.
sometimes
Yes.
two prongs. So having an instrument or anything like having two prongs or two parts, it always makes what we call it as a plural. Do you understand now?
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Right. How to move further? Let us see. Yeah, Anjana has some doubt. Yes, Anjana.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anjana. Come and tell me.
So, here we have told that if we have more than one scissors, we will tell two pairs of scissors or three pairs of scissors.
You can also say two pair, also no problem. Tell
So,
me.
sir, earlier you told that if we are having dozens, like for example, I bought 2 dozens of mangoes.
Hmm.
So here you are telling that dozens is preceded by a numeral, so it is wrong.
Definitely.
So, but here you are telling 2 pairs of scissors, and here pairs is also preceded by a numeral. So, can we think that this is an exception for that rule?
Dozen and a pair now. Suppose, okay, you give me one sentence like, let me say, for example,
No, sir. Like what it is like.
can we use the word with a dozen pair? The word pair can we
No,
use?
sir. No, sir, sir. No, that is not something I'm asking. I'm telling like we told it is 3 years degree course. We
Ah.
told their years is wrong. You're supposed to take year because
Oh.
it is preceded by a numeral called 3.
Yeah.
So here, similarly, in this case, we are considering 2 pairs of scissors or 5
Hmm.
pairs of scissors. So
Hmm.
here pairs is also preceded by a numeral 2 or 5 or 3. But still we are using pairs, which is plural. So is it an exception?
Yeah, definitely. No, because better see, if you look at the word dozen, for example, if you look at the word dozen,
That
it
itself
does,
is a plural thing. Dozen
dozen,
itself
yeah,
has more
dozen
than
itself
one.
is right. Yes, yes, dozen of mangoes. Suppose like, so we don't say 2 dozen mangoes. That's what we say, 2 dozen. 3 dozen
Yes,
only
sir.
we have to say.
Yes,
3
sir.
dozens also we cannot say 2 dozen.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got it now. The only thing is that because when we talk about these, that's what I say, instruments or prongs having 2 parts, right? Then we can use the word pair. But the word dozen, we don't use the word pair better. That is the difference. Like if you have understood that, then
That, sir, I'm not confused between dozen and pair. I know that dozen is of 12 and pair is for 2. Here I'm not asking whether pair and dozen go together or not. Here the thing is, we have told a rule. I don't have the book, so I can't quote the number, sir. So we told that because for example, keeping aside that dozens example, we can consider it is a 3 years degree course. We told it is wrong because years is preceded by a numeral called 3.
right.
So instead of years, we'll consider year, which is singular.
Yes.
So here, if at all we are using pair because scissor has 2 tongs. Therefore, we are telling it is a pair of scissors. So when we have more than 1 pair, we are telling we have 2 pairs or 3 pairs or 5 pairs. If here the word pairs is also preceded by a numeral 2,
But did
3,
I
4,
not say
5.
just now? Did I not say Oxford accepts the word pair or pairs both? Did you listen, madam? What did I
Yes,
say?
sir. Yes, sir.
Two-
It accepts both.
No, listen now. So, okay, I'll go with your rule now. Definitely, what you said is what we call it as like 2 pair of scissors. Absolutely right, that is. But Oxford also says you can also use the word pairs also. There is no harm, it says. With the word only pair, so not with others.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Supposing you take the word 200, say 200 now, tell me now.
200.
That's all. He gave me 200 rupees. Similarly, you have used the word year also, like, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. But with the word pair, dictionary accepts both. So that's what I have cautioned you also. Right? Preferably, Oxford, I already told you, Oxford prefers the word pair only. But Oxford also takes the word pairs also. There is no harm with that. That is one word where we can use that. There is no problem, right? I got your one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Right, at both you can activate this. Do you have Oxford with you? The standard Oxford. Please today you look into the word Oxford, what they have used the word pair or pairs like. Anjana, tomorrow you report me that.
Yes, sir.
Right, better? Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sridevi? Ashwant Kumar.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ashwant.
Sir, I have a doubt in the scissors thing, sir, in 16F.
Tell
So
me.
here, if we take a pairs of scissors, are kept a pairs, sir, pairs.
No, don't say now. Now, because it is only one, we have to say a pair only now.
Okay, so suppose if we have a numeral, then it would be like R, sir. We should be using R or is.
A pair of scissors, okay?
Yes, sir.
A pair, just to wait. I'm moving little further.
Yes,
Now
sir.
the word is, should you go with the verb has to take scissors or verb has to take the word pair? That is what the confusion is now, right? Just
Yes,
do it. I'm just coming back to that. A pair of scissors is only.
Okay, sir. If the instead of pairs, okay, sir, we can't use pairs over there instead of pair.
Because you have used the word a na bete. A
Okay,
pairs,
sir.
we cannot say na, a pair. But we can say two pairs, you say, no problem.
If two pairs, then it would be R, no, sir.
Definitely.
Okay, sir. That's what. Thank you, sir.
Right? Very
Yes,
good.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think, well, you have doubts, like that doubt will be clarified as you move little further, you will understand, students. Like I'm sure that you will understand. You are in a position to grasp it. Good, very good. You are in a position like you are grasping it. Very wonderful. Right? See that? Yeah, now we'll move on to the next bit, students. Exactly what the subject and what the concept is now. One minute. Right. Now the concept of subject verb agreement, as I said. So what is the subject and verb, students? Like ultimately subject to verb combination is nothing but it is called a sentence. So having a subject and verb, we term it as a sentence which has some sense, students. Okay. And so we have to deal in sentence now. Because what is the sentence? Both the point of view, from the grammar point of view and vocabulary point of view, we have to just master this one. So in English, students, like there are three kinds. There are three kinds of sentences. So sentences are generally categorized into these, students. Number one is complex sentence. Just have to give some idea. The second one is complex sentence and compound sentence. And the third one is the simple sentence. Both. Supposing if it is a fill in the blank, how do you look at the sentence? Supposing if it is a grammar, how do you look at the sentence? That is what my understanding here is. So straight away, just let us go. What do you mean by complex sentence? Sometimes in examination, they have also tested a given sentence. They simply asked whether it is a complex sentence, whether it is a compound sentence, whether it is a simple sentence. How do you know that particular given sentence is a complex sentence or compound sentence or a simple sentence? We have to know that, right? Yeah. Basically, when we talk about sentence concept, students, now, if it is a complex sentence, minimum requirement of the sentence is that there should be subject plus verb, conjunction, subject plus verb. This is the minimum requirement to be addressed as a complex sentence, which means that there are two sentences in the given lengthy sentence. That is what, okay? The minimum requirement of compound sentence also is subject plus verb plus conjunction plus subject plus verb. This is also minimum requirement to be addressed as a compound sentence now. Now, sir, it seems to be both same. I'll come back. They are not same, but they are different. If it is a simple sentence, subject plus verb. That's all. It has only one subject and one verb, students. That's all. Did you understand now? Right. Very good. Further moving one more step. Come on, let us see now. If there is a subject and verb in English, we term that one as a clause. C-L-A-U-S-E. Okay. Joined by conjunction. Subject verb means there is another clause also, students. Okay. Wonderful. If there is a subject and verb, you have to call it as a clause. What is a phrase then? Which does not have subject and verb, but there are 3-4 words which gives some sense. But if it is a clause, it should have subject and verb. Okay, right. It's a lengthy chapter, students, like, but let me just wind up with a small idea only. So there is a subject verb, and here also we have a clause joined by conjunction and subject and verb. This is also clause. And having a subject and verb, this is also what we call it as a clause, students. Right? Very good. Now the next point here it is. Next point here it is. Now what is this subject verb conjunction? Now, right. One more thing I'll tell you. So complex sentence, compound sentence, and now how do we distinguish? How do we know that a given sentence is a compound sentence, given sentence is a complex? It depends entirely on the type of conjunction that you activate. So the type of conjunction will determine whether it is a compound sentence or whether it is a complex sentence. But generally, compound sentence takes what now? Just I'll try to talk about students now. So compound sentence and what we call it as like, right? Now, so generally, if it is a compound sentence now, for example, compound sentence. It takes a something like Wigboyer form, students, like there is a word called fanboys. If it is a compound sentence, I say fanboys. What is this fanboy, students, like? Now I'm trying to talk about the conjunction, students. Now we are conjunction of fanboys. F stands for, A stands and, N stands nor, B stands but, O stands or, Y stands yet, S stands so. Therefore, we can also go with neither also. We can also go with either also. We can also go with else. If you have come across these conjunctions, term it as a compound sentence. That's all. Very easy. Fanboys concept. Simple. I just want to tell you. Fanboys concept. If you can get this kind of a sentence, you just tell that, sir, it is a compound sentence. However, sometimes there can be some other conjunctions, but that is a little bit intricate. Let us not worry about that. But this is the main concept. Now again, come back. So what is this compound sentence like? In compound sentence, both are main clauses. Main clause, which means they don't depend on the other because they are pure conjunctions. And there is a name for this one, conjunctions. They are called coordinating conjunctions. What conjunctions they are called? There's a name for this one, like coordinating conjunctions. If you open some dictionaries, type simply coordinating conjunctions, students. Like you will get all this. There are some others also. Don't worry. These are the main ones. There is a name like coordinate. If it is a coordinate conjunction, both the sentences are independent of themselves. They don't depend on the other students. Like, for example, just let me give it here now. Ram went to market and bought apples. Ram went to market and bought apples. Now you see here, what is this now? Ram went to market now. There is a subject and there is a verb there. Over. And the sentence is getting over here now. And there is a conjunction and here now. Bought apples now. Who bought apples? Ram bought apples. He bought apples. I am not repeating the word. Like so, there is a subject here and it is understood. There is a verb else here. Now here, why they are independent? I'll tell you. When Ram went to market, is independent. He bought apples, is independent. So both are independent sentences. But where do we activate these independent sentences? When you are trying to express two or more different ideas. Different ideas. What is different ideas? Ram going to market is one idea and buying apples is another idea. So it is expressing different ideas or different concepts. Right, students? Like, so they are independent of themselves. And such kind of sentences have been activated in class 2nd and 3rd. You will get only these conjunctions and, right? You see what conjunctions like? And, nor, but, that is the area where you have mastered only these conjunctions. Because your teachers have been teaching you how to express different ideas, that's all. Is it okay? Simple, okay? Now here, what happens, generally what happens, that one part of the sentence strengthens the other part of the sentence. And sometimes like, that's what, like one part of the sentence is strengthening the other part of the sentence. The other part of the sentence is strengthening or corroborating or complementing what is stated in the former part of the sentence. Just try to understand this concept, that is okay. Now, other than these conjunctions, like any conjunction if you open, when, while, because, right? Who also is a conjunction, students, like that, right? You can take it as any conjunction, however, right? Any kind of a conjunction that you can think of, students, like, for example, any kind of like because, that, who, that. Other than these ones, we can call it as, it as a complex sentence, that's all. But what happens in complex sentence now? There is only one main clause. The other one is a subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. What did you understand by one main clause? The other clause is depending on the former sentence. Ravi is absent because he is ill. The sentence is getting over here now, ending now. Ravi is subject and verb is there. Subject and verb is there and joined by because. Because he is ill, you cannot keep quiet like that. You will ask, fellow, what happened? Because he is ill, what happened? He is absent. Are you able to understand? Supposing I can say like this. I left when he came. Okay? When he came, can I keep quiet like that? When he came, you will ask, stupid fellow, tell me what happened, man. When he came, what happened? Don't you understand now? That's the such kind of sentence is depending on the former sentence to get full meaning. That's why these conjunctions are called subordinating conjunctions. Now, these conjunctions are called what? Subordinating conjunctions. Like, let me just say, this is a compound sentence, like, right? Now, compound sentence is this one. Subordinating conjunctions, like, so I'll write it here itself. Subordinating conjunctions. So if you open dictionary today, you will find that there are coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. I'll go after he comes. I'll go is full statement. After he comes, you will ask what happens. Or after he comes, what happened? Do you will understand, students? So there is one. We can also go with plus one more conjunction and one more clause also. There is no problem like that. 3. Generally, we activate in our lives maximum 2 sentences, but newspapers also go with 3, 4 sentences also, adding conjunctions after conjunctions and all. Okay, right, students? So tomorrow, if they simply ask you what kind of sentence it is, given sentence like, now, sir, fanboys, I know that is a compound sentence, right? Other than that conjunctions, then we have to term it as a complex sentence, like so, like words like mean, while. And again, because, however, that, these are all, there are a lot of conjunctions in English. There is a list also. I'll come when I go to the book. I'll throw more light on this one, students. Like, right? I'll just refer that book also now. Right? Very good. Now you have understood what is compound sentence and what is complex sentence. Right? And another thing is that conjunction doesn't mean that it has to be always in the middle of the sentence. Need not be. Conjunctions can come also. Conjunctions can go in the end also, students. Like, depends on the sentence. Now, what is a simple sentence? It has only one subject and one verb, students. Like now, right? For example, like I am going to school. That's all. I am going to school. Over. It has subject and it has verb there. I am going to school. Over. The subject and it has verb there. The subject and it has verb there. So it has only one subject and only one verb. Full stop. Now, sometimes a challenge is what we call it as students. Like now, yeah, conversion or transformation of sentences. It's a lengthy chapter. Changing from active to passive. And when I come to the verb, I'll try to talk. Changing direct to indirect. Now changing from complex to compound to complex, simple to compound to simple. I'm not going to break your heads. Right? I'm not going to break your heads now. That's not necessary for us. But just try to understand the concept of just sentence. Like, okay, there are 3 sentences. They take subordinating conjunctions. One takes coordinating conjunctions. The other one is simple, having only subject and predicate. If you divide this one, students, like now complex sentence, there are 3 different kinds of sentences. Like clauses, we can different clauses. Like complex sentence can be divided into 3: adjective clause, adverb clause, and a noun clause. If I say the word adverb, what do you say? You will say only word. But if I say adverb clause, which means in that clause there is subject and verb which does the work of adverb. That's all. If it is adjective clause, just now we say the word good. But what is adjective clause? In which there is subject and verb which modifies the noun clause. That's what I said. I don't want to break your heads with this one now. Right, very good. So if you have understood this one so much, that is okay, students. Like now let me just go with that. Now, what is this singular and plural concepts? Here, I just want to go with that and find out. Fine, let me just say. Right. So what is now subjects? Something like now, let me just go with the subject and verb concept, students. Like now, something about what we have to master very quickly. Come on, let me just say, subject, verb now. Now, agreement has to take place now. Very simple. Like supposing I use the word boy plays. It is agreeing with that. There is no problem with that. Singular and singular now. So just now I told you, if the subject is singular, your verb also should be singular. If the subject is plural, your verb also should be plural. That is what we have learned. Like teacher teaches. Okay, teacher teaches. Okay, just I'm giving you one example. Like supposing I use the word teachers teach. Plural. We have to be very careful. Okay, singer sings. Singer sings. Driver drives. How nice they are. Singular and plural concept. And this is first class concept or your LKG Lilly teacher concept. This is what concept? Lillemma concept. Lillemma concept, you are very, very good. Very, because subject and verb, they are very close. So there is no problem. But do you think at a competitive level, the subject and verb are very close? No. At your competitive level, subject will be here and the verb will be here. And there are a lot of words coming into that. And by the time you have gone to the concordance, you have missed the track. Okay, and that is what I want to say now. So I'll just give you an example, students, like now, right? So maybe if I can give you 1 or 2 examples, you will understand better. Right, here we go. One sentences. I just want to throw one sentence. I just scribble. I'll just tell you, subject verb doesn't mean that they are very, very close, but they are very far sometimes. Let me just give you an example, students. Like, let me just see that. I just want to scribble one sentence for your convenience sake, students, so that you will understand better. Okay, let me just work out here itself and see. Supposing I'm just throwing one sentence now. For example, let us see. Just don't worry, I'm just scribbling. I just picked this statement from one of the newspapers. Don't worry, I just scribbled it. Can you read it? No, we have just scribbled it. You may not understand. Now I'll just read it for you. Just try to understand this sentence. Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister of India, a resident of Delhi, a close friend of Vajpayee, a great noble economist and diplomat, belonging to Sikh religion, and a member of Congress party, visits Hyderabad today. Can you tell me whether it is a compound sentence, complex sentence, or right? Jayalakshmi want to tell me what sentence is that? Let me just see who tells me the Jayalakshmi. Tell me that.
Sir, it's a compound sentence.
Compound sentence, like, because
Yes, sir. Simply we can divide it into.
yeah. There are what we call it as like there is a clue also here. Now you see that there is a word and here now.
Yes.
A close friend of Vajpayee, a great noble economist, and you see here now, and is here. Then again, one more and here now.
At last, yes.
Right. Okay. So and now. Okay, I'll take Jayalakshmi. I'll come back to you again.
Okay, sir.
I'll come back to you. Good. Imtiaz.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Imtiaz. What kind of sentence it is?
Sir, it's compound, sir.
Same thing, because there are conjunctions there. Okay. Very good. I'll come to you. I'll come back to you. Yugashri. Nistala. Chaitanya.
Sir, I think it's a simple sentence because remaining parts of the sentence don't have a subject. They only have some information. That's it.
So Chaitanya wants to say, that's what you see, when I take different opinions, people give different opinions. Like, very good. So he says, sir, वो मुझे तो लग रहा है कि वो simple sentence लग रहा है. नहीं sir, आपने पहले बताए थे simple sentence मतलब having only one subject and verb, therefore that is simple sentence, right? Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, right. No, come on, good. I'll come back. Yugashri. Yugashri. Rupesh.
Sir, I think complex and compound both.
Is there any other conjunction of complex ones? Like, what are complex conjunctions?
Yes, other than fanboys.
Do you find any other than fanboys, any other conjunction here?
Sir, actually, if we say that Mrs. Prime Minister of India, then if we say somebody, then he will say, what Mr. Prime Minister of India? Then we have to say visit, study. I think like that only. Today.
Very good. Okay, Rupesh, I'll take it. Bharat.
I think it is a simple sentence, sir. So you talked about the main clause, no, sir.
Right.
So here I guess it's main clause is that the Prime Minister of India is visiting the Hyderabad. That's the main clause.
Right. Very good.
So there is no other clause. So I think
Right. Right. There is no other clause now. Good, Bharat. Very good, Bharat. Good. 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 So there is no other clause there now. Okay. Okay. Others, Anil and Yugashri, I'll come back afterwards. Please lower your hands. Please lower your hands now. Very good. Very good. Right. Now you see here. Now let us see. Very good. I think most of you have gathered my concept of teaching now. Right. Wonderful. You see here. I read again. Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister of India, a resident of Delhi, a close friend of Vajpayee, a great noble economist and diplomat belonging to Sikh religion, and a member of Congress party visits Hyderabad today. How are you to read the sentence now? Now this is how we are supposed to read now. Manmohan Singh is our main subject. And the sentence goes like this. Manmohan Singh. Again it comes back. Again it comes back. Manmohan Singh visits Hyderabad today. Now this is now. So Manmohan Singh and the verb here is here now. This is verb. This is verb here now. Manmohan Singh visits Hyderabad today. Now what are all these words now? These are all Gargar ki kahani words. They are all called attributes. What are they? Attributes. That's what I said now. Simple sentence doesn't mean that it is only two words. That's what KG class concept. Sita sings melodiously. Very good. Good. But when you come to our standards of level now, right? So that's, don't you miss the track now, because there are number of nouns here. Manmohan Singh is one noun, India is another noun, Delhi, there are more than 10 nouns here. Then what you will think now? Since it is a plural, verb also should be plural, you will tell. No. Manmohan Singh visits Hyderabad today. These are all attributes. Try to recognize. Verb never agrees with the attributes, please. It never agrees with the attributes. Be reminded, please. Verb never agrees with the attributes. Verb agrees with the main subject. Now our challenges are, what are attributes now? And what is the main subject now? That is what our challenge should be in GATE examination now. That is the area where I just want to throw some light today. Today itself we'll try to go with that, students. Now, very good now. So it's good. You have identified the sentence. And I think that is what you are supposed to do, students. Like, right? Wonderful. Now, come on, let me see. Yeah, I'll just take a few more examples for your convenience sake. I'll just take a few more sentences, students. Like, come on, let us see. Now, what happens? I'll tell you, students. Like now, there is some lot of confusion going on between the subject-verb agreements. Like, so whenever I say something about subject-verb agreement, there is a confusion going on now. The general confusion is that, what is the general confusion now? Subject-verb conjunction, subject-verb. Sometimes what happens, I'll tell you. The general trend of agreement is this subject and this verb should agree, and there is a conjunction that, and this subject and this, there's no problem. That is a general trend, students. Like, there's a general trend what we call it as now, right? Yeah. Sometimes what happens, I'll tell you now. Subject verb concept, like, okay, then again what we call it as like subject verb, that is general. Sometimes what happens, I'll tell you. Again, I'll take the subject verb conjunction, subject verb. Just one. This one. It's okay. Second. Now, sometimes what happens, I'll tell you students like that. So sometimes the subject, verb, now that's agreement has taken place. But sometimes what happens, I'll tell you, within the subject and verb, what happens, I'll tell you now. How the agreement has to take place. Sometimes what happens, students, like subject verb, okay, fine. Sometimes within this subject and verb, maybe let me call it as this is the main clause and this is subordinate clause, as you said now, it's okay, no problem. But sometimes within the what we call it as the main clause, there can be subordinate clause again now. For example, like the subject verb now. The general understanding of what happens, I'll tell you now. So the agreement should be like this. This subject has to agree with this one as the main clause. Don't ever think that always main clause in the beginning, subordinate clause. This is general trend like main clause and subordinate clause. Okay, fine. There's no harm with that. There's no harm with that. But sometimes what happens, so within the main clause, there is subordinate clause. And this subject and this verb should agree. If it does that, then it is okay. But sometimes what happens, you take this subject and you just join with this verb. That is called disconcordance. And with this subject, you join this verb. Therefore, you are wrong. Are you able to understand, students, now? Yeah, sometimes this is the problem that where students frequently make mistakes, like where you are supposed to join. Sometimes within the subordinate clause, there can be main clause also. Within the subordinate clause, there can be main clause. So where is the subordinate clause and where is the main clause? You are supposed to work out with that. Otherwise, definitely you are bound to make a mistake. Normal trend is a subject verb is okay, fine. Main clause. But in case when there is what we call it as like within the main clause, there is subordinate clause. And sometimes within the subordinate clause, there is a main clause. Are you able to understand now? So please keep in mind this one and try to find out. And I don't think that there will be a confusion among these one students now, right? Now we'll go with the, as I said, that there is a little bit of a chapter that what I want to. Supposing I'll just give you a few examples of that kind, then let me see whether you can digest this one, students. Like, so most of them are gate questions also. I just want to highlight these one, students. Now, for example, like let us just say teacher together with the students. This is a gate question, students. Like teacher together with the students has gone to picnic. Teacher together with the students has gone to picnic. Teacher along with the students have gone to picnic. Teacher as well as the students has gone to picnic. Teacher but not the students has gone to picnic. Teacher in addition to. Very good, students. Now right, let us see. All are gate questions, let me tell you. All of them have appeared in the gate examination. Now come on, let us see now. Let us see. Teacher together with the students has gone to picnic. Now, this is a simple sentence only. It has only one subject and one verb, students, like, right? Wonderful. Now, teacher together with the students has gone to picnic. Now you see here, expressions like together with, along with, as well as, but not, in addition to. This I call it as of phrases. Be reminded, please, this I call them as of phrases. This I call them as of phrases sometimes. Like of phrases means there can be the word of also, sometimes there can be the word in also, there can be sometimes the word as also, then again except. Doesn't mean that only together with, along with, as well as, but not in addition to. Okay. Now there is a subject and what we call it. So always try to divide the sentence, students. Here the sentence divides. The whole thing is what we call it as the subject. And this is called a predicate section. Now, predicate means there should be verb also now. Predicate means verb. So now subject predicate means verb has to agree. In other words, I use the word verb. Subject means a noun, yeah, pronoun. So both of them have to agree now. So noun or pronoun, both of them have to agree, students, to participants. I'll come back to you, students. Like I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, please. All right. Now, when you come across such expressions, what did I term them as? I termed them as of expressions, please. Of phrases, of expressions. Now, our main subject is a teacher. This is our main subject. Now, please be reminded always, please. Now, there is a word students also here now. There is a word plural. And here it is singular and plural. And definitely, you would like to choose have as a plural. No. Don't go with the noun which is very close to that. If you go with that very close to that, in English terminology, we call them as error. Error of proximity. Error of proximity means jo nazdik hai usse le rahe aapne. No, you should not go like that. Like, this is what the confusion in GATE. And the challenge is that first of all, teach. Now it is okay now. But what about sometimes like analysis? He has given the word. Analysis means many students have thought it is plural, like because it is ending in yes. So these are all what we call it as, in other words, what did I say? This is attributes. In other words, I call these ones as attributes. Verb will never agree with the attributes, please. Our subject is a singular. Teacher together with the students now. Teacher along with the student, teacher as well as the students, teacher but not the students, teacher in addition to the students. Since it is singular, your verb also has to go like this. Teacher has. Don't go with the plural, please. Teacher has gone to picnic now. Don't go with the students, please. Are you able to understand now? If you have understood this, very, very important, I say, because number of times this question appeared in GATE. Very, very important concept. Suppose teachers, then you take plural. but you have to master with the expression together with, along with, as well as, but not, in addition to. Last time get what they have asked, in they have asked, as also they have asked, except also they have asked. So what is an attribute? What is the main subject? That is what our challenge is now. If you can work out with this one, students, like, then I think you can do subject and verb concepts very easily without much difficulty. Okay. So this is what you have to understand now, right? I'll just go with one more example. You will understand. I'll come back, students. The introduction of tea, coffee, and such other beverages has not been without any effect. The introduction of tea, coffee, and such other beverages has not been without any, what we call it as, like, effectiveness. So lengthy the sentence is now. Now, first of all, you have to understand whether the sentence is complex sentence or simple sentence, like. And the moment you see the word and, many people will tell you compound sentence. No. First of all, divide the sentence. Where the sentence divides now? Beverages. So the whole thing is the subject and this is the predicate part now. So there are a lot of nouns. Introduction is one noun. Tea is a second noun. Coffee is a third noun. And such other beverages, there are 4 nouns. Therefore, my verb should be plural and many people will choose. No, you should not choose that. The main part is here. What you have to talk is that introduction is our main thing now. Introduction is our main subject. That is the subject now. Now tell me now, introduction is singular or plural now? Singular. And of expression now. That's what I said now. You have to categorize the expression. Of ke baad mein we should not take. And up to beverages, we should not consider that one. Since introduction is singular, your verb also should be singular now. So therefore, this cannot be now. The introduction has not been without any effect. You understand now? Yeah, that is the main point again now, students. Like, so you have to work out such kind of areas and see whether you are in a position to work out with that one or not now. So most often what happens is that's what I say. Sometimes where is the of expression? Where is the main verb, students, like? And if you can do that, there is no problem with the exercises now. I think now you can do very well with the exercises, students, now having understood this concept. Now let me just give you pose few questions to you, and then what we call it as, then let me see other ones, like, right? Let me just see that one area of the concern of, let me see. So identify the attributes, identify what we call it as the these ones, then I think the work is going to be very, very easy for us students, like, now, right? Straight away, without wasting what we call it as much of my time also, I'll come back to you students now, right? As I go on, I'll explain more about it now. As I go on, I'll also explain more about this one, students, like, now, right? There are other things also, maybe if you can understand. Okay. If you have the book with you, students, like, now, I think I have not come with the slide here. Maybe tomorrow I can come with the slide. I can come with the slide also. I'll try to put that questions in the slide also. Can you come to this exercise book, please? This is a subject verb chapter agreement now. Page number, yes. Page number 142, please. 142, exercise. 142, please. Page number. Page number 142. Okay, right. I'll just go with some questions. First of all, I'll ask you, and those students who have the books, you can raise your hands, no problem. We'll have a little dialogue, and then accordingly, then we'll see certain questions. I just want to. total chapter, like noun chapter, I have not yet taken students like into account, but once I take up that one, there are a lot of questions from the pronoun chapter also, then I'll come back to that one now, right? Can you just to open page number 142, students, 142, question number 21, 2019-18, I'll come back afterwards. That is confined to pronoun chapter, like, okay, right? Question number 142, right? Page number 142, question number 21. The lion as well as the tiger are a flesh-eating animal. Let me just see straight away. Come on, let me see now. Bharat.
I don't have the book, sir. I didn't.
You didn't get the book?
No, sir.
This exercise, I think it is there in the previous slide also. In the previous slide, the day before yesterday's slide, there is an exercise. Not today's slide. There is in the previous slide, it is there. Those students who have the books, please raise your, just others don't have the book, it is okay. But those students who have the book in front of you, just answer my questions, please now, right? Okay, I'll read it. Bharat, I'll come back. There is I'll try to go with the slides also, this exercise. It is there. Okay, right. Yogashri?
Sir, I didn't have books, sir.
Why you people don't have the books? Which means you didn't purchase or you haven't got the book yet?
We did not get books, sir.
I think once you, I think like when you have taken this admission to this, I think definitely I think you have been provided. But if they have not provided, I have been cautioning them to send as early and conveniently as possible. So all of them have got. So those students don't have, it is okay. I can maybe previous slide. If you have in front of you, maybe Saturday slide. Yogashri, do you have the Saturday's work or Monday's work? Okay, Imtiaz. What about Imtiaz?
Yes, sir, I have, sir.
You have the book in front of you. Very good. Other students, those who don't have the book, there is a previous slide, or else don't worry, I'll come back to this one also. Tomorrow I'll try to upload this one also, not a problem. But earlier also, there is a chapter that is just before what we call it as the confused words. I think there is one exercise, which I have given that exercise. Or even if you don't have that exercise, don't worry, tomorrow I'll upload this one, okay? Imtiaz, question number 21. The lion as well as the tiger are flesh-eating animal. Come on, tell me now.
It is, sir.
So you have to go with the lion is the flesh-eating animal. Don't go with as well as the tiger. You should not go with. Very good, Imtiaz. Good. Come back to you. Right, very good. There is one more student. Like, let me see, Suresh.
Sir,
page number 142. 142.
But in my book, 142 means idioms are there, sir.
Which book, beta? What is the cover of the book like? This
verbal ability.
Verbal ability, numerical ability, or verbal ability? Both are there in this.
Only verbal ability, sir.
Only verbal ability. Cover is yellow cover.
No, sir. Blue color, sir.
Blue color.
What are you shown that book I have, sir?
Okay, do one thing then. Somewhere near, it is after the chapter, what we call it as like tenses, you will find the chapter. Verb chapter you will find. In the verb, there is after that. You will find that.
Okay, sir.
Those students who have the other book also, don't worry, please. Numbers might have been changed, but otherwise it is only one and the same. There's in the verb chapter, under verb chapter, you will find the subject verb C bit.
I'm searching, sir.
There's a verb chapter, subject verb agreement. There's a big title also. You see. Get ready now. Get ready with you. Right. I mean, somewhat, I mean, been given the what we call only verbal ability. This is the combined one, and sometimes individuals also you may get that. So don't worry about that. Right. Yeah. Better that tomorrow, what we call it as like I'll come with the slide so that it will be easy so that those students who don't have also. It's okay. Anusha. Anusha. Yogashri.
Sir, have some doubt. Sir, ఒక సెంటెన్స్ వచ్చేసి ఒక సెంటెన్స్ వచ్చేసి డాష్ అనేది ఇచ్చేసి ఆప్షన్ లో ఐదర్ నైదర్ ఆర్ ఐదర్ ఆర్ నైదర్ అని ఇట్లా కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇస్తారు సార్.
అది pronoun chapter.
Okay.
That also will be clarified. That's what I said now. There are how many questions you know in this subject verb agreement? There are what we call it. Only after pronoun, you can do 109 questions. 109 questions. Okay. Altogether, there are 109 questions in this one. You have to wait till the pronoun chapter also. Okay. So the next chapter is pronoun. Next chapter is pronoun. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Just wait. That is very important chapter. That is either, neither, nor, and all like. Okay, right. Likely we may start tomorrow also. This pronoun chapter, like, right. Okay, do one thing. Not many students have the books. Maybe like they are trying to tell me. Tomorrow I'll upload it and I'll take up this exercise. Is it okay? Exercise have to be dealt. Otherwise, you will not get confidence. Okay, tomorrow I'll take up the exercise now. Is it okay? Lower your hands, please. Then now, I'll just go with some other thing now. Right? Let us see. Right? Very good now. So this is exactly the exercise part. Since you don't have the books, allow me. So tomorrow I'll just go with the exercise, students now. Okay, right? Wonderful now. So exercise is very, very important. Now, right now. So with this, the chapter subject verb agreement will get over, students now. But very, very important chapter now. If I don't take exercise, you will not, because there are some intricate questions. Okay, if a question you get like this, what will happen? Sometimes what happens, I'll tell you. Sometimes the clause itself will act as a subject, which means there is subject and verb. You have to take both into consideration, especially that is WH family. So tomorrow when I upload that, then I can go on with that one, students, like, so that it will be easy for you. Is it okay? Right. Now there is a last one chapter, students, like now, just let me just see. There is one noun possessive case. There are questions also in English last also, students, like, but just today I'll just try to introduce that chapter and let me see. Right. So already there is a list in front of me. The noun case. Okay. So there are questions that appeared from this one also. Since it is there, what we call a slide in front of me, it doesn't take much time, students, like now. Let me just go through this one and check with this. There are questions from this possessive case also, like possessive. So one of the chapters of noun is, we call it as the possessive cases now. So let me just look into that. So in English, we say the noun possessive case. I'm just reading it now. The noun possessive case. So what do you mean by this noun possessive case, students? It's very easy, students, like, supposing I just go with maybe if I use the word sometimes, what we call it as, like, supposing I say possession, something belonging to something, like. So there are a lot of possessions, like in nouns there are possessions and in pronouns also there are possessions. Supposing I take one sentence, students, like, maybe let me just see here now. I'll just go with that sentence now. Maybe I take the sentence like, for example, this is Rama's umbrella. Why? Very recently also they have tested in GATE. This year also they have tested this question, students. Now here, umbrella is noun. And this also is noun, students, like, no problem. Both the nouns are coming together. Right? But this noun is doing the work of adjective also, I can tell you now. Okay? All right. And what do you find here now? Rama has become now Ramas. Now what has changed here now? The word Rama has been changed to Ramas, indicating possession. What is that? Indicating possession, I call it as, students, like. So right. So what is this possession, I call it as like. So something what we call it as like, this is Rama's umbrella. Now the simple question is like, ask a question to noun whose umbrella it is, then we have to say what we call it as Rama's. Which means what is this possession now? This is called possession now, apostrophe. This is called apostrophe. In other words, possession. What is possession now? Belonging. Belonging to somebody, belonging to something. So Rama's umbrella. Sometimes a lot of mistakes about what we call it as this apostrophes, like especially with the abbreviations and all, people make a lot of mistakes, students, right? So let me just go with so that you can easily understand what is that. So apostrophe, we use apostrophe. And in pronouns, what did I use, students? Like in pronouns also I have used now to indicate a position, pronouns. In pronouns, what did I use the word like? You also have seen the word my. You have seen the word like are. You have seen the word maybe you are. You have seen the word his. You have seen the word her. You have seen the word its. You have seen the word their there. So in pronouns, these are all possessions. So something is belonging to somebody, something is pertaining to somebody. That is the meaning of this one, students. That's all. So there is a slide in front of me. I'll just read one or two for today, and I'll continue in my next class, students. Like now, right? For example, you see the noun case. We say possessive case in English. So there is a formation of possessive case like, and there is one more formation, and there is another one is use of the possessive case, formation and possessive like. So what is formation of the possessive case like? Just how they are formed. Let me just look into this one now. Come on, come to the slide, students now. When the noun is a singular, the possessive case is formed by adding only apostrophe s to the noun. The boy's book. So the word boy is a singular. I want to say that something is belonging to this boy. What I have to say, students, now? So something I have to say what we call it as like boy's book, I have to say. So the understanding is that this book is belonging to this guy. Possession, we call it as, students, like, right? Wonderful now. So the king's crown, you see here now, only one person, only one person. So when the noun is singular, if you want to show possession, only apostrophe s is given to the noun. Okay, right. Note, the letter s is omitted in a few words where too many hissing sounds would come together like. What are hissing sounds like? Conscience, hissing sounds. There you will not use s, but you will use only apostrophe now. You are using only apostrophe now. Conscience sake, goodness sake. Right, students, like now, James' sake. So we don't activate WS like goodness sake, we don't say. Conscience sake. Why? They're all hissing sounds. So hissing sounds we avoid. Apostrophe, yes, we usually don't go with that. Okay, right. Now for justice sake, now justice sake, we don't say. For Jesus' sake. Sometimes we can also use the word Jesus' sake. We can say Moses' law. So apostrophe, only apostrophe has been given. Now, okay, that is okay now. Now let us see. When the noun is plural and ends in what we call it as like yes. So singular means like apostrophe yes. But what in case when the noun is plural now and something is belonging to them? So and ends in yes, the possessive case is formed by adding only an apostrophe, only what we call it as apostrophe, only, students, like now. Just a minute, wait. Now, just what we call it as like when the noun is plural, what happens now? You see that? The word I have just given your students now. So what in case when the noun is plural now, boys, for example, let us see. Already there is a word boys. And only apostrophe has to be given to this what we call it as like boys. Now for you see boys up after S, boys school now. This shows that it is in plural. That school is pertaining to these boys. Girls school, dogs tail, don't say, which means many dogs have only one tail, dogs tails. So when the noun is plural and ends in S, the possessive case is formed by adding only an apostrophe. Did you understand, students? Now, right, when the noun is plural. Now, when the noun is plural, but does not end in S, there are a lot of plural nouns which don't end in S. Then what do? The possessive is formed by adding S. So for example, like men is a plural now. I want to show that something is belonging to these people now. Then I should say this is men's. After apostrophe, please. Men's club, I should say, sorry, not apostrophe. Then that shows something different now, because already men is plural, no? I thought man. Okay, men's club. What about man? Suppose, then you can say man's. You see the word man's. Man's book. Or man's, okay, fine, man's. If it is plural, then before already men is plural, students like. Are you able to understand now? Very good now, man's like. So men's club. Children is already plural now. So children. Children's books or children's park. Very good, students. Like, I think some students have to leave for classes or sessions now. So I'll come back to you now, right? Next class, I'll just go with that. This, if you have time, you can go through them. If you have time, you go through them. Use of the possessive. I'll explain, students, like there are some ones like this, a small bit. Tomorrow I can wind up this one, then followed by exercise. Exercise will take about at least half an hour it will take. Then straight away I'll start with the chapter pronoun. Very important chapter again, like pronoun also, students, like now, right? So tomorrow I'll start with the pronoun. The student has asked me, sir, what about either or, neither or now? So some important ones I have to handle them, students, like. Very good. So today we'll wind up the session and tomorrow I'll meet you, right? Have a nice day, students. Like. Your queries I'll take up in the next class. Good.